New month, new trying to finish all of the series on my TBR video. Hi, I'm Kiki. Welcome back to my little corner on the internet. I have way too many unread books. Most of them are series, so hi. I am going to try to do this almost a little bit different from my previous videos because I've been slacking on my German books and my German series, and I'm sort of in the mood to read them. So I thought that instead of being like only reading English books, because we speak in English, I would also, for every English book, I would have to read a German book. I will mention them briefly in these videos. That is mostly to hold me accountable, to be honest, but also, you never know, you might find something that sounds cool to you and maybe they're like, either you understand German or like they're translated, I don't know. You never know. So instead of reading 3 books, as with the other videos, I will be attempting to read 6 books. I'm ambitious, okay? I also try to like keep that, always like keep these videos just filming over 1 week instead of like a longer period of time, but we will see. Okay, we will see. I don't necessarily have specific books in mind for this video, but I do think I'm going to flip it around. So I am going to start. This actually works perfectly. I'm going to start by reading, like by finishing series. So for my English book, I am going to be reading Magnus Chase and the Gods of Asgard, The Ship of the Dead, which is the 3rd and last in the Magnus Chase trilogy. And I think we're supposed to see Percy in this, so I'm really excited. But yeah, this is going to be my first book for this video. And then for my German one, I am somewhat uncertain what I'm going to be reading, but I have an idea. It would be the 2nd and last book in a duology, and I really want to... Saying get it out of the way might not be the right choice of words, but I've been wanting to just like read it so that I don't forget what I have read in the first book, because it's already been a while again. I think it's been a couple of months and I need to stop doing that. So I'm gonna start with Magnus Chase, but I'm really excited for this and we will see how it goes. So I have been doing my usual listening along while doing things, as well as just like reading along while listening. And I am now actually like almost 60% through, I think. And from the Magnus Chase books, I think this one is my favorite. Does that have to do with the Percabeth in the beginning? Probably. But I think I am also at a point where I really appreciate the characters in this one. I think with the Kane Chronicles, it was because they were so young and all of it happened in such a short time span that was just difficult for me to like properly enjoy. And this one, now that we know the characters better, we're seeing certain potential love stories and the characters are just developing, and it's just like they're not quite as young at the start of this. So I think it's easier for me to enjoy these now that I know the characters. They're not as young as the Kane siblings, and I mean, we saw Percabeth. That will forever and always be an easy way to get me to love a book, I think. So really gotta read some Percabeth fanfiction. Oh my god. Yeah, I do really, really hope that we will see these characters again later on in a different series, because I feel like now that we've established that Percy and Annabeth and Magnus and his crew, like, they know each other, so basically Camp Half-Blood knows about Valhalla, I guess, and vice versa. So I just feel like there could be some cute little crossovers in future books that I haven't read yet. Whatever those will be. I don't know. But yeah, I'm quite happy with this. I think this might actually be above, like, a 4-star or above a 4-star. Not a 5-star. Gonna be completely honest. But like, I'm enjoying this so much more than the previous ones, which I'm so relieved. I was wondering what was happening, but like, it turns out I just needed to see Percy and Annabeth. So, I have finished Magnus Chase and The Gods of Asgard, The Ship of the Dead. The dust jacket is downstairs. And oh my god, this was so much better than the others. I don't even know, like, what? Okay, so first of all, I gave it 4.25 stars. Like, I knew it would be above a 4-star. I enjoyed this one so much. I don't even know. And like, the last bit seems to maybe hint at me getting my wish and us potentially seeing Magnus and the others again. I think something that I liked about this book, also a lot more than the Kane Chronicles, is that we once again see the gods in a way that is just like, in the end, they're so human in a way. Like, yes, they're the Norse gods, but they're also like, they have their pettiness, they have their, I don't know, they seemed a lot more approachable than the Egyptian ones. Not sure if it's because of the way that the Kane Chronicles work, but I don't know. About this one though, something that I found really funny in this is how integrated into modern, like, technology and the world that these Norse gods are. I think that's kind of hilarious. It's just like, yeah, Heimdall being like obsessed with selfies is, I love it. And then Odin being a motivational speaker basically is just like, yes. And yeah, this was so much fun to read. I think it's also like a really nice ending to the trilogy, because like the big thing that was basically the big quest has been done and things can go on now. And I think that especially the ending with the what they do with the house, I think that's really nice. It's on brand, and I love that. So yeah, I honestly didn't necessarily expect to like this, which is great. I like going into a book with low expectations and then that book exceeding expectations, rather than going in with high expectations and it's just completely shattering. But anyway, really enjoyed this. It also means that I have finished my next series, Gods of Asgard, and now it will be time to read the Trials of Apollo. But because I've read the English book that finishes a series, I now need to read a German book that will finish a series, and I decided that I will be reading the Fabelmach-Chroniken Brennende Worte by Katrin Lange, and this is the second in a duology. The foiling makes this look really cool. But yeah, this, I don't know what to say about it. The first one was okay. I didn't love it. So I will see what I think about this one. I don't want to say that it has a high chance of being DNF'd because I don't know, but it's just the second book, well, the first book, ended in a way that I do kind of want to pick up the second book, but I'm not sure I really feel the need to know what happens, if that makes sense. Oh, something that I wanted to show you, because I think that is really cool about this book, is that the chapters like start with basically the art from the cover. I'm guessing it's supposed to be fire, because brennende Worte means burning words. That took a second to translate. But yeah, I really like it when chapter headers have like art. It just makes the book pretty. And you can also like see here how long the chapters are. I always appreciate being able to sort of be able to expect how much time it will take me to get through a chapter, but okay, so I am like 40-ish% through the German book. The thing is, I was reading this and I fell asleep while reading, which generally speaking, when that happens during the day, is a bad sign. So I ended up taking a nap. I love Sundays for that. Like, ugh, beautiful. But I ended up taking a little nap, and then I decided to talk to my mom because she has listened to the audiobooks of these books before. And I asked her, like, do you remember this? And like, was it a little bit of a chore to like get through? And she was like, yeah, so I didn't love it. I do think that the ending was sort of like worth it, but like you really did have to almost force yourself through it. So I was like, I don't know if I want to do that. So what I just did was I ended up reading the last chapter of this book. And I have decided for myself that it is in fact not worth reading this book. I have a little over 2 hours left in the audiobook. So it would only really take me a little over 2 hours to finish, but I feel like that's 2 hours of wasted time. So I'm not doing it. I'm not. I can't be bothered. I don't care. I know how this ends. I sort of saw it coming, not exactly like that, but I knew that something would be happening. But it's also like, some of these chapters are so freaking long. I don't care for it, like at all. So unfortunately, this book is not for me. But that's okay, because that means that I have gotten another book off of my physical TBR, which means that I'm now at 197, whoop whoop, and that makes me happy. I am making great progress. I wasn't the first couple of days of July. I don't know what was happening. Well, it was super hot, which is probably the reason. I love Sundays when I can just sit and read and like get through my books and like have a bookish good time. Because like I finished Magnus Chase, I started and then DNF'd the German book, and now to continue a series, an English one, what I'm going to be picking up is Reckless by Lauren Roberts, which is the second book in the Powerless trilogy. There is a novella before this. So that's called Powerful. I've read both Powerless and Powerful. And yeah, I'm excited to see where this goes. And then once I've read Fearless, yes, I will be done with the trilogy. Yes. So interested to see where this goes. This is also another one where there are where there's art at the front of a chapter. The little flowers, like at the bottom as well. Love it. Okay, so I am almost 25% through, which is crazy. How? It feels like I started this like a couple of minutes ago. Didn't, but it feels like it, which is good. We love it when we don't realize how much time is, you know, passing as we're reading. Ooh. Okay, so I'm liking this so far. What I think is really cool is that it seems like we won't just be having Peyton's and Kai's points of view, but also Kit's, just like in between. Because I just finished, after reading the first chapter, by Kit. And I do like me a good multiple POV book. So even though it doesn't seem like we'll be getting that many of Kit's perspective, I do still like having those because I'm guessing that for now, Kai and Peyton are probably going to be in close proximity, given that what's happening. And then Kit sort of having the perspective from somewhere else. So also, like, obviously they are, both brothers are in love with Peyton. Of course they are. I don't want to, I'm not like spoiling myself. That would be stupid. So yeah, so far, so good. Enjoying myself and still really interested and intrigued to see where this is going to go. Well, I finished Reckless. I mean, I expected it, but the way it was delivered was hilarious. And then the epilogue. Yeah, I cannot wait to read Fearless. I'm going to be doing that soonish. Other stuff to read first, but this was good. Damn it. I mean, yes, I gotta admit, it dragged on in between there. Like, this whole book was basically just one big journey, which I've been healed from since reading Tolkien. But overall, it was good. I loved the Kai and Peyton moments. You gotta love them, right? Also, I'm seeing parts of where, like, let's say Resistance is going to come in, and I am really excited to read the last book because there is so much that needs to be wrapped up neatly in it, which, unless there's going to be more, like, there's going to be Fearful, right? But that's going to be a novella as far as I know. So, like, we're good. But, like, there needs to be a lot that needs to be wrapped up in this. And I'm like, how do you want to do that in one book? I mean, it will be done. She will be doing it. I'm guessing. I'm hoping. But this was better than I thought it would be, which is good. We like that. It's probably gonna be a 4.25, 4.5 star read. Gonna let it settle to really sit with the rating and see what I'm actually going to rate it. But overall, this was good. Didn't expect it. Gotta be 100% honest. I did not expect it. I have decided on the German book I'm going to read to continue a series, and coincidentally, it is also the second in a trilogy, so perfection. But it is going to be the Romeo and Juliet Society Schlangenkuss, which is the second in the Romeo and Juliet Society trilogy. And the first book was the first book I read this month, and it was a nice refresher. I definitely remembered a good chunk of it. I just didn't remember the specifics. So rereading was definitely necessary, especially going into this. This is big, unfortunately. This has almost 500 pages. It's gonna take a while, but I'm gonna read this for my German book. And then I'm going to have to figure out what to read for first in a series, because I do want to mostly try to read books on my physical TBR for these videos specifically for now, unless I don't really have any other option. On that note, I have started the first in a series because I wanted a book to read on my Kindle at night, just to read a couple of chapters before I go to bed. So I also have the audiobook, as always. So I have started 16 Souls, which is technically the first in a series. Don't ask me how many there are, because I don't know, or how many there are supposed to be. I think there are 2 out right now. I don't know if it's going to be a trilogy or whatnot. But I'm not going to use this as my starting a series book, because it's not on my physical TBR. This is one of those where I have been seeing a lot about this book, and it's not my genre per se, but I do really want to try it. And yeah, so I'm reading that on the side as well. I tried reading just one book at a time. It doesn't work for me, guys. It really doesn't. I wish it was. I wish it would, but I can't. My brain will not shut up. So, yeah. We will figure out what I am going to be reading for that later. So, I have to admit that reading through this has been a bit slow. Not necessarily because I'm not enjoying this, but I didn't really feel well the last 2 days. I am 3/4 through, I would say, ish. And I was reading today in the morning, and then I actually had to like physically shut the book and cringe and just be annoyed, because the love triangle is love triangling. Now, did I kind of know that this would be a love triangle trilogy going into the book? Yeah, it's sort of in the premise of the book. But it's annoying me quite a bit right now. Mostly because, like, they're doing a really good and really bad job at communicating at the same time, which is super annoying. But it doesn't annoy me in the same way that love triangles usually do. It's just I want them to figure everything else out before figuring out their damn relationship. Like, I want to get to the magical, like, mystery part of it. But overall, I'm enjoying it. I'm enjoying the mystery. I'm enjoying the, like, friendships that are forming and shattering and reforming, and just, like, the unity that will probably come along sooner or later, between the students and everything, and I want to get to that point, if that makes sense. Yeah, it's just I want to be done with this so I can read the third book and know for sure what is happening, you know? Enjoying it, but not loving it because of a love triangle, once again. These things are destroying books for me and it's so annoying. But I'm also feeling like I'm sort of falling into like genre slumps. Like most of my books are fantasy and romance, or mix them together. But like, I'm starting to have trouble really enjoying myself while reading fantasy or romance because I don't know if it's that I'm getting sick of the tropes or if it's that it's just like really not it right now, and I don't know. So because this series is what it is, me trying to finish my series, especially on my physical TBR right now, I don't really have much of a choice in terms of what I'm gonna read next, but that's okay. We'll see what happens. I have a lot more fantasy and romance coming, but I do think that I'm going to try to sort of mix it up a little, mostly with ebooks that I've either had my eye on or I'm gonna be reading for like challenges or whatnot. I mean, one of the books on my July TBR is more of a thriller crime thing, so I'm definitely looking forward to reading that. But otherwise, I have so much fantasy and romance and I'm genre slumping. I know I said that I am annoyed with the love triangle in this, but oh my god, it was good. What the heck? Like, first book in a long time where the love triangle did not, in fact, ruin the book for me. So, if you're German, go read this. I am going to see if I can write. No, you guys need to write, people. You guys, like, you need to make sure that this is gonna be translated into English because this is so good. Like, oh my god. Should I translate it? Ugh, I don't think I would be able to. I'm so bad at translating. I'm gonna have to like figure this out because I feel like people would like this. I don't know, it's like, it's love triangle, it's forbidden romance, it's an ancient curse, it's Romeo and Juliet, so Shakespeare inspired. You've got kind of magic, like you have the two different houses, and you've got someone who can communicate and basically like, and not necessarily talk to snakes, but like communicate with them. And then you've got another one who can do the same, but with like any type of cat. So lions, panthers, whatnot. Like, so also like cute little kitties. But, you know, listen. If I had done it the other way around, and I would have started with starting a series and ended with finishing a series, you would be seeing me read the second and third book in this video. But because I only have firsts left, that's what I gotta do now, which is kind of annoying, to be completely honest. I'm very sad about it. I am this close to trying to binge my next read for this video, which will be Flawless by Elsie Silver, which I'm super excited about. And I think I might start that soon, after I have gotten over this. Like, I need to read it now. It's so bad. Oh my god. Why have I not read this earlier? I don't know. Anyway, that's the update. I really like this. Oh my god. Okay, so I desperately wanted to start the third book in this series today, right? I'm so glad I started this instead. Oh my god, like, I have not been able to put this down. I am 60% through? 55 maybe? I'm in love. This might be a 5-star, guys. Like, I can't. I'm shaking. I'm enjoying this so much, okay? Like, five stars. This is so good. Oh my god. I love them. I love them. It was amazing. I read it in one sitting. I was supposed to, like, go out. I didn't. I mean, I am gonna have to go for my walk, but, like, I am so happy. This was the right choice. I'm so happy. This is what I needed. Holy shit. Like, like, you know what I said with, like, feeling slumpy with genres, right? I don't think I've read, like, a small town cowboy romance before, so technically this is a new subgenre, so I'ma take it. Happy Kiki. So, for the German book, I will be starting One True Queen, von Stern gekrönt, by Jennifer Benkel. And I don't know if I'm gonna do that tonight, to be completely honest. I just had dinner. Gonna go for my walk. And then I might decide to, instead, read something on my Kindle. Because I have enough to read. So yeah, also this is heavy and I'm kind of sick of holding a book, you know? So I love that the naked hardcover is basically like the cover. And it's got a map. I love me a good map. I started reading One True Queen. Forgot what the actual title of the book is. And I am about 80 pages in, so just read a little itty bitty bit of it. I don't know yet. I feel like we just really need to get to the place that our main character is going to right now to really start sort of like getting into the story, if that makes sense, and we're not quite there yet. I am going to give it, I don't know, like another 80 pages or so, maybe, to see if this actually does catch my attention. If it doesn't, I'll be so disappointed because I had actually kind of high hopes for this book. But it's also like, I might just not necessarily put it as a DNF, but just put it back on my shelves because Flawless seems to have been the exception to the rule, but it's just like, this is fantasy. And the way I currently cannot deal with that is real. So I don't know. It might not be the book itself, but just the fact that I'm just not in a fantasy mood. So I'm gonna start from the back, I guess. I ended up putting this book back on my physical TBR because I just didn't really feel the desire to pick this back up currently. I do think that I might be able to enjoy it, maybe even later this month, but a lot of the times this happens after I find a new 5-star read, and this book was so good. I enjoyed it so much. It's just, I understand why everyone loves the Chestnut Springs series. It's like, I get it now, guys. I get it. And I so wish I had started this earlier, but I'm getting to it now, which is really exciting. So I probably should have picked up this before picking up this. Then I probably would have finished these two, but it's okay. I also just have so many series that I'm currently reading anyways that maybe it's not the best idea to properly start one. Even though this is technically a duology, so it would be a series that would be off my TBR real quick. Anyway, put that back on my physical TBR for now. Like I said, this was a 5-star. It was so good. I loved it. It's just, I still giggle when I think about it, which is always a good thing. I also talked to a friend and my mom about it because they have read it as well. My friend is currently on the 4th book in the series and my mom has read all of them. And now we're pressuring my sister to read it as well because she actually has the physical book in German. And I am actually excited to see whether we will see some of these characters again, and if we do, what will happen with the relationship between the two sisters, because that's something I would be really interested in. So then for continuing series, I don't actually remember what I rated any of these books except the 5 stars, so let me check real quick. That's why I track things, right? I wouldn't remember otherwise. Okay, so for continuing a series in German, I read the 2nd book in the Romeo and Juliet Society, which is called Schlangenkuss, so snake's kiss, basically, and this was so good. I gave it 4.25 stars. It is such a great continuation to the first one, and I cannot wait to read the 3rd one. I will probably be doing that really soon. Actually, also please ignore my nails. I need to redo them. It's just, it always takes so much time that I procrastinate on it. Anyway, this was really good. I'm loving it so much. Like, this was such a great buy. This was a pure, I can't even say cover buy. This was a pure straight, sprayed edges buy because them together look so good. Oh my god. But, yeah, so technically, I'm so glad that it's living up to the beauty of, what these books look like. And then I continued the Powerless trilogy by reading Reckless, which I actually ended up giving 4.5 stars. I enjoyed this. The only thing is that it do I still think this is 4.5 stars? I might lower that to 4.25 stars actually. Because looking back, this dragged on a little bit and that was kind of annoying to me. There were scenes in there that I loved. I loved the fact that we had all 3 points of view. So Kit, Kai, and Peyton. Yes. So cannot wait to read the last one. I do not own it physically right now, but I do have it on Libby right now, so I'm gonna have to jump into that really soon. And then for finishing a series, I read Magnus Chay's The Ship of the Dead, which I gave 4.25 stars. This was so good. Like, this was my favorite from the Magnus Chase books, and also personally so much better than the King Chronicles, but it is what it is. It was so much fun. It's just, it gave me like the Rick Riordan vibes that I was sort of missing from the Percy Jackson books. Percy was in this, so maybe that's also why. Not a lot, just in the beginning, but like, it helps immensely, especially seeing Percabeth. It's just, loved it so much. I mean, it's literally called, like, the first chapter is literally called Percy Jackson does his level best to kill me. Anyway, really, really enjoyed that. And then for the German one that I wanted to read, I actually DNF'd it because I couldn't vibe with it. The first one was already quite slow, and then the second one just was not my vibe. I just couldn't do it. It was too... And like, I decided to read the last chapter and it didn't give me anything. It just pretty much did what I thought it would do, so I had no desire to figure out how they got from A to B. So yeah, unfortunately this was a DNF, but that is a series off of my TBR. Now, I did technically also start a new series, which is called 16 Souls. I'm sure you've probably seen it somewhere on TikTok. It's by Rosie Talbot. I hope that's how you pronounce that name. And I gave it 3.5 stars. I was really positively surprised by this book because it is partially in a genre I don't really read, which is horror. And I think the reason I liked it in the end was because it definitely is also a fantasy, and it had like a mystery element to it. And it's just like, it had all of these different things that I do like in books, but it also had the horror aspects that I'm just not used to. So the longer I read in the book, the more I actually got to enjoy it, which was great. So I gave it 3.5 stars. I do want to continue and read the second book in the duology, and I might see if I check out some of Rosie's other books, because I think there are more now, which is incredible. But I actually was really excited about that, because I technically read this for one of my reading challenges that I'm doing on the Storygraph. And I just, yeah, I really wanted to check it out. I've been wanting to check it out for a while, and I'm glad that I did because, like I said, I was really positively surprised by it. And it was queer as well, which makes me so happy. I just, like, I don't even know if I went in knowing that it was queer, but I'll take it. So, yeah, I am really happy with my progress. I've now finished 11 series. I've DNF'd 6. I'm caught up to 5. I'm not going to mention the don't cares anymore for now because that's not going to change for a while probably. Currently reading 60. And then I have 38 on my TBR. Still a long, long way to go, but I am getting there, and that is the important bit. It makes me really happy. And I think for the next video, I might not do this format, but do something a little different, because I need to start actually like catching up on the series that I am currently reading, because it's that many. It's ridiculous, and some of them have several books that I need to get through, and some I will probably just be ignoring if I don't try to focus on them. It's also a lot of it is German, so I might just do a like short catch-up video. I don't know yet. We will see once I get there what will happen, but I am really, really happy and proud of myself because, okay, wait. instead of reading 3, I ended up reading 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Math is not a thing, apparently. No, but I did manage to get 5 books off of my physical TBR, which is always a win for me, and thank you so much for joining me on this. Please let me know if you've read any of these, especially this, and let me know what you thought, because I enjoyed this so much. So thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, please consider giving it a thumbs up or maybe subscribing. I would super appreciate it. And I hope to see you in the next one. Bye!